Jon Rahm might have one of the wildest, most unique swings in golf, but does that really make him the undisputed top dog in the sport right now? Most fans look to the official rankings for that answer, but Rahm clearly believes he has his own scorecard. He's easily one of the coldest talents on the planet, but is he truly number one today? And are his shots at the OWGR's new ranking system actually fair? Stick around, because this story heats up fast. Rahm hasn't stayed quiet for even a second about how much he dislikes the system that hands out those rankings. And honestly, he's been grinding hard to reclaim that top spot, stacking wins like the Spanish Open and grabbing another huge one at the DP World Tour Championship. The former US Open champ thought this was finally his moment to jump past Patrick Cantlay and the rest of the competition to reclaim number one again. But the new ranking system had other plans, dropping him into fifth and leaving him fired up. Rahm, a former world number one, kicked off the year by openly challenging the official world golf ranking and the math behind it. After his win at Kapalua, Rahm believed he'd be knocking on the door of number one. Not just close, he expected to be sitting on the throne. So when the numbers didn't line up, he didn't hold back. He spoke up immediately. In Kapalua, Rahm went off with 3 birdies and an eagle in a 4-hole stretch on the back 9, while Collin Morikawa collapsed with 3 bogeys from holes 14 through 16. That insane 8-shot swing changed everything, allowing Rahm to storm back from 7 down and win at 27 under by 2 shots. It was only the 9th time in tour history that a 54-hole leader with a 6-shot cushion or more failed to close the deal. Meltdowns like that almost never happen. The last one was only a couple of months earlier at the Tour Championship, and this was the first time in Kapalua history that a lead bigger than 3 shots disappeared. After grabbing his first win there, Rahm earned his first PGA Tour victory since the previous year's Mexico Open and became the first champion of one of the Tour's new designated events. But even with all that shine, none of those wins were enough to lift him back to the number one ranking he wants so badly. Rahm is still one of the most dominant golfers anywhere. Back at Arizona State University, he stacked 11 tournament wins like it was routine. His elite performances should have pushed him higher in the rankings, but the new OWGR model didn't reward his wins the way many expected. Under the updated system, field strength and event depth weigh heavily, meaning even dominant wins can feel undervalued. Rahm publicly questioned whether the formula truly reflects the best players or simply favors certain tours with larger fields. His frustration wasn't emotional. He believed the math itself was holding him back. Despite that, Rahm kept stacking top finishes across multiple continents, proving he wasn't slowing down. Every week he showed that form, confidence, and precision can rival any ranking formula on paper. What made Rahm's criticism hit even harder was the timing. His game was peaking, his confidence was at an all-time high, and the stats backed him up completely. Fans, analysts, and even some fellow players agreed that his OWGR drop didn't match what they were watching on the course. The debate quickly grew into a bigger conversation. What actually defines the best golfer in the world? Is it pure math? Dominance? Consistency? Rahm believed it should be obvious. The guy winning the biggest events with the strongest fields should be number one. But as long as the system didn't move with him, he felt stuck in a ranking that didn't match reality. As the discussion heated up, pressure shifted toward the OWGR committee, who defended the formula as the most accurate representation of global performance. Rahm didn't buy it, saying the rankings were losing credibility if fans couldn't trust what they saw. The tension exposed a growing divide between traditional ranking structures and a modern golf landscape evolving faster than the math behind it. Still, Rahm refused to let the noise slow him down. Every tournament became another chance to make his case with results instead of words. And with every leaderboard he climbed, the question grew louder. How long can the system ignore results like these? Rahm ranked second in Arizona State history, sitting right behind Phil Mickelson, who collected 16 wins like it was nothing. Born to Adorta Rahm and Angela Rodriguez in the Basque region of Spain, Rahm grew up ready to prove something big. In 2015 and 2016, he won the Ben Hogan Award back-to-back, becoming the first golfer ever to win it twice. At the 2014 Eisenhower Trophy, he dominated again as the top individual, leaving no doubt that he was more than just another name on the list. By April 2015, Jon Rahm became the 28th player to hit number one in the World Amateur Golf Ranking, holding the spot for 25 straight weeks before slipping and then reclaiming it for another 35 weeks. In total, Rahm spent 60 weeks as the top amateur on Earth, proving his rise wasn't luck, it was built. He later secured the Mark H. McCormick Medal as the top amateur in the world, earning exemptions into the following year's U.S. Open and Open Championship. He finished as the low amateur at the 2016 U.S. Open, showing he was built for big stages long before turning pro. Years later, he climbed all the way to world number 1 after winning the Memorial Tournament in 2020, a moment that showed his rise wasn't slowing down. It was getting louder. Then came another historic milestone. Rahm became the first Spaniard ever to win the U.S. Open, a championship dating back to 1895, and only the second Spaniard after Seve Ballesteros to reach world number 1. That U.S. Open win marked Rahm's first major title, and he dedicated it to the late Spanish legend Seve Ballesteros, a powerful tribute to a player who helped shape his fire. At just 28, Rahm has already built a serious career. Turning pro in 2016, he hit the big stage fast. His first World Golf Championship appearance came at the WGC Mexico Championship, where he finished only 2 shots behind winner Dustin Johnson. It was a statement performance for a newcomer. In 2018, he chased Johnson again at the Century Tournament of Champions in Hawaii, finishing 8 shots back but showing he belonged among the elite. Dustin Johnson has always spoken highly of Rahm, calling him one of the best golfers he's ever seen and a future dominant force in the sport. Victories like the 2017 Irish Open, the 2018 Spanish Open, and the 2021 Memorial Tournament are just a few on Rahm's growing list across the PGA Tour and European Tour. His fearless style and constant presence near the top of major leaderboards have turned him into one of the most respected competitors in the game. According to fellow golfer Pat Perez, Rahm hasn't even scratched the surface of what he's truly capable of. Perez, now playing on the Saudi-backed circuit, believes Jon Rahm might be the next player to dominate golf for an entire decade. On an episode of Golf Subpar, Perez didn't hold back. He said, "I don't think anyone is going to beat Jon Rahm consistently for a decade, and I think he's going to have the most majors when it's time." Rahm's rise hasn't been accidental. Every step of his career has shown maturity, discipline, and focus rarely seen in players his age. Coaches who worked with him early in his journey said he always had a blend of power and control that set him apart. While other young players relied on distance alone, Rahm built a complete game, shaping shots, controlling tempo, and learning how to stay calm under pressure. His confidence wasn't arrogance. It came from years of proving himself on every stage he touched. Even as rankings moved around him, Rahm continued showing that his consistency was unmatched. Each season added new wins, deeper runs, and a growing reputation as a player built for longevity. But Rahm's influence goes beyond trophies. His intensity elevates everyone around him. When he's in the field, leaderboards tighten, strategies sharpen, and the entire energy of a tournament changes. Fans respond to that, too. They see a player who doesn't just compete, he demands the moment. His mix of passion, emotion, and elite skill has made him a central figure in the sport. And still, one question hangs over Rahm more than any other. How high is his ceiling? With wins across continents, a major championship, and time spent as world number 1, many believe he's only beginning to write his legacy. His peers call him a generational talent. Coaches say he's built for dominance. Fans see a player with everything: power, precision, confidence, and a mindset engineered for greatness. As Rahm enters the prime of his career, expectations are skyrocketing. People aren't just expecting more wins, they're expecting historic achievements, multi-major seasons, long runs at number 1, and a legacy that could rival the legends he once idolized. Watching Rahm lock in on the course, Pat Perez's prediction doesn't sound crazy at all. Last season, Rahm kicked things off at the Century Tournament of Champions in Hawaii by dropping an insane 33 under across 4 rounds, including a ridiculous 61 in round 3. He even shattered the original PGA Tour to par scoring record with a mind-blowing 31 under. Even though he eventually lost to Cameron Smith, Rahm bounced right back and won the Mexico Open for his 7th PGA Tour title. And he wasn't done. In October 2022, he claimed the Acciona Open de España, firing a final round 62 to win by 2 shots. That victory gave him his 3rd Open de España trophy, tying Seve Ballesteros' legendary record. A month later, Rahm closed out the year by taking the season-ending DP World Tour Championship, his 9th European Tour win and 5th Rolex Series title. At this point, nobody could deny it. Rahm was a certified top dog in the sport. Pat Perez insists Rahm will stay on top for a long time, mainly because of his mindset. Perez said that when they played together at Silverleaf, he once asked Rahm what his plan was at age 35. Rahm told him straight, he's not stopping until he wins 19 majors, even if he has to play until he's 55. Perez added, whether he does it or not doesn't matter, but he's not quitting until he passes Tiger on that list. Chasing 19 majors means passing both Jack Nicklaus 18 and Tiger Woods 15, a massive goal. But those who've watched Rahm closely believe he hasn't even reached his true ceiling yet. Some people believe Rahm hasn't even started showing his real ceiling yet. If he ever hits a stretch where he starts stacking 5 or 6 wins back-to-back, he could push the standard higher than the era Tiger once dominated. When the hosts Colton Nost and Drew Stoltz pressed Pat Perez for specifics, he didn't hesitate. He said Rahm could end up with 8 to 10 major championships, placing him above players like Phil Mickelson with 6 and Arnold Palmer with 7, and right alongside icons like Gary Player and Ben Hogan with 9, plus Tom Watson with 8. Chasing the sports giants sounds like a massive challenge for someone with just one major at the moment, but Rahm's ambition makes it feel real. That belief is what keeps the pressure high. Even with all the hype surrounding Rahm's potential major count, the truth remains, his entire trajectory has always pointed toward long-term greatness. What separates Rahm from many talented players isn't just skill, it's durability. Year after year, he avoids long slumps, keeps his swing tight, and shows up fully prepared for the biggest events. His numbers back it up. His strokes gained stats, his win percentage, and his consistency in elite fields have put him into conversations normally reserved for legends. Players who spend time around him describe him as laser-focused, competitive, and obsessed with improvement. That mindset makes 8, 9, or even 10 majors sound less like a fantasy and more like a real ceiling. Rahm is built for the grind, and that grind is what produces generational careers. But greatness isn't just about talent. It's about timing, momentum, and seizing windows when they open. Rahm is entering the prime of his career, the same phase when Tiger, Faldo, and Watson made their biggest leaps. He's stronger, smarter, more experienced, and mentally tougher than ever. With the modern game shifting toward power mixed with precision, Rahm fits the era perfectly. Every season brings new challenges, new rivals, and new storylines. But Rahm has shown he can adapt faster than most. Whether it's a swing tweak, a ranking controversy, or a showdown with rising stars, he always finds a way to stay in the spotlight. And the scary part for the rest of the field is this: Rahm's climb might just be getting started. Rahm isn't settling for anything less than greatness. Perez says Rahm is built for the next decade because of how steady and adaptable he is. He even believes Rahm's swing is so controlled and powerful that he won't deal with major injuries anytime soon, a huge advantage if he wants to chase his massive career goals. It takes real confidence to step up and call out the official world golf ranking system. Only someone who truly believes he's the best player alive would dare to do that. And Rahm fits that mold perfectly. He's confident, focused, and never afraid to speak his mind. Rahm flat out says he's the best golfer in the world right now, regardless of what the rankings show. Jon admits that last year had its phases. First Scottie Scheffler looked like the best, then Rory McIlroy took the spot. But now, Rahm believes he's the top guy, and he's clearly frustrated the rankings don't reflect that. He said, "I've won 3 times since the playoffs and I don't even get close," and he's trying to understand how that makes any sense. Rahm added that if the world golf ranking system hadn't changed, he would be sitting near number 1. He finished with, "I feel like I've been the best player in the world since August," making it clear he's not hiding his feelings. And honestly, anyone watching him play knows he's one of the toughest competitors in the sport. Even his fellow pros admit he's built differently. If you love the untold stories and drama in golf, make sure you subscribe to Golf Mode TV. We've got the inside scoop every single week. So now you tell me, is Rahm right about the OWGR system being flawed, or is this just the reality of modern rankings? Drop your thoughts, and we'll catch you in the next one. Rahm's battle with the rankings didn't just spark debates online, it lit a fire across the entire golf world. Players who normally stayed silent about the OWGR started speaking up, saying Rahm had a point. Some argued the system was outdated, others said it punished consistency, and a few even claimed it didn't understand the modern global schedule at all. Suddenly, Rahm wasn't just fighting for himself, he had become the unofficial voice of a frustrated generation of golfers. The more Rahm dominated on the course, the harder it became to ignore the conversation. Tournament organizers began balancing their fields differently, broadcasters started using alternative stats to measure player strength, and fans began paying more attention to results than rankings. Rahm's performances became the measuring stick, not the number next to his name. And that pressure forced the OWGR committee to take another look at their model. They didn't publicly admit flaws, but insiders leaked that discussions were happening behind closed doors. Rahm had forced their hand. Whether the system changed or not, one thing was clear: Rahm had shifted the entire narrative around how greatness is measured. Meanwhile, Rahm kept building his own case. Each new event brought another chance to prove that his ranking wasn't a reflection of his reality. He kept firing low rounds, pushing leaderboards, and making every tournament he entered feel bigger. Broadcasters started calling it Rahm pressure, the intensity he brought just by showing up. His rivals felt it too. Several pros admitted they approached final rounds differently when Rahm was lurking behind them. They knew a single mistake could open the door, and Rahm was the type of player who never hesitated to slam it shut. But what truly separated Rahm from the rest was his mindset. He didn't chase validation from rankings or critics. He chased moments, the kind that define careers. Whether it was a clutch putt, a risky approach, or a comeback from behind, Rahm lived for the challenge. And fans loved him for it. Every year, more young players showed up mimicking his fearless style, trying to capture a bit of the Rahm intensity. His impact was becoming bigger than wins or trophies. It was shaping the mindset of the next wave of golfers. And as Rahm continued pushing his limits, everyone watching knew one thing for sure: this story was nowhere near finished.